A man boards a flight to India. Beside him, his new wife. This was their honeymoon journey, a chance to mix charity with comfort and to see the world around. At least, that's what was said. They land in Jaipur, the pink city. The couple checks into a luxury hotel. The first days in India were great, but then it happens. A sudden illness strikes the man. It begins as stomach pain, sharp. By nightfall, it has escalated into something far worse. His condition spirals, sweating, weakness, his body betraying him in a country far from home. His wife rushes him to Fortis escorts. Hospital doctors move quickly, but his decline is brutal. Within hours, he is in crisis. The man suffers multiple cardiac arrests. He's battled a chronic illness before, but this time is different. December 9th, 2018. Barely 24 hours after being admitted, the mood changes. But let's rewind a bit back. Back to the early days of crypto.
Hey guys, how's it going? So I just want to give an update about my situation right now.
This is Tong Zhu. We called him Tony. Tony sits in his small apartment, eyes fixed on the screen. He's a software engineer, 7 years in Silicon Valley. Endless pressure. He dreams of escape of freedom. Today on TV, Tony watched it.
Bitcoin's value reached $11,000.
$12,000, $15,000, $17,000, $18,000. The new currency is making a lot of people rich.
Everyone's cashing in, everyone but him. FOMO kicked in. Tony felt it. This night, He makes a decision. The next morning, he walks into a quiet bank lobby. The clerk slides over 3 forms. Tony signs them all. 3 loans, totaling $85,000, plus $150,000 from his own savings. Hours later, he's back home. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, anything that will 10 times his money. He's in it. Scam or not, it doesn't matter. He fully ported, he waits, and waited. Then, it happened. The fall.
Bitcoin took a serious tumble.
Down more than 20%, 60%.
The charts that once shot upward now collapse downward. The same people who once called it the future now call it a bubble.
Bitcoin has shown a really sickening tendency to fail.
Tony watched it all unfold from his small apartment.
To nosediving today.
His $235,000 melts away in real time. Bitcoin went from 17,000 to 4. Tony stares at the screen, numbers falling faster than he can process. His stomach sinks with every update. By the end of the fall, he lost 90% of his money, more than 200,000. His dreams of freedom vanished. 3 loans, half his paycheck gone to repayments, the rest swallowed by his mortgage. There's nothing left to save, no way out. Until one day, he makes the hardest decision of his life. He sells everything, including his apartment. When it's done, he's left with 400,000. His plan is simple. Start over in Canada, Vancouver, maybe a quiet life, a second chance. But there's a problem. Transferring the money through banks would cost him 2% in fees. Thousands of dollars lost for nothing after everything he's been through. That's a price he refuses to pay. Then he remembers a story. A close friend once transferred money to Korea. Using crypto made 40% profit. Through exchange arbitrage, 50,000 turned into 70 in days. The idea burns in Tony's mind. Why not him? Why not now? He researches for hours. One name keeps coming up, Quadriga CX.
Introducing Quadriga CX, Canada's best Bitcoin exchange.
At least that's what he believed.
You'll never have trouble moving funds into and out of your Quadriga CX account. Once you fund,
and now he's ready to make a move. But what the hell is even Quadriga CX? To answer that, we have to rewind once again. Before 2009, sending large sums of money felt like smuggling drugs. Banks invaded your privacy more than the IRS ever could. Then, a competitor emerged to fight back, barely $1. Bitcoin becomes the alternative. Banks started looking at crypto with suspicion. To them, it wasn't the future of money. It was fraud, lawless speculation. And in Canada, the rules were even stricter. Accounts tied to crypto companies were frozen overnight. The message was clear. You're not welcome here. It's 2012 now. Bitcoin is waking up. A digital Wild West. No one fully trusts it. Exchanges rise overnight, then vanish just as quickly. Some are hacked, others exposed as scams. Many are nothing more than experiments held together by weak code and blind optimism. But in chaos, there is opportunity. If you were bold, clever with technology, you had a shot at building something big. Fast forward, 2013, Canada. No real way to buy or sell Bitcoin here. Even linking your bank to an exchange was impossible. Most gave up, but one man doesn't. Gerald Cotton, aka Jerry. He promised to fix that. It began small, just him and a partner. No offices, no glass towers, just meetups. People arrived with envelopes of cash. Jerry greeted them with his trademark grin, handshakes, friendly emails, and in return, they walked away with Bitcoin. It was messy, even old-fashioned, but it worked. Soon they built something bigger, a website, Quadriga CX. The name, nobody agrees why Quadriga was chosen, but to its users, it doesn't matter. The platform is simple. You log in, deposit Canadian dollars. One click, and you have Bitcoin. Word spread, slowly at first, then faster. By 2015, Quadriga had momentum, but behind the scenes, cracks formed. The partners left, one by one, until only Jerry remained, the sole decision-maker of a growing empire. Then came 2017, the surge of Bitcoin, and Quadriga, once a scrappy startup, suddenly commanded the market. At its peak, over 360,000 users traded through Jerry's exchange, over $1.2 billion traded in a single year. Up to 80% of all crypto trading in Canada flowed through Quadriga, and Jerry earned a new title, the Crypto King. But his empire wasn't like the others. In the US and Europe, exchanges were corporations, offices, staff, multi-layered security. Quadriga wasn't that. It was run from Jerry's laptop at home. No headquarters, no boardroom, no safety nets. A single man, barely 20-something, granted absolute control over several million in customer funds. And one of those customers is Tony. He sits here today watching the ad. He's convinced Quadriga is the chosen one.
Quadriga CX is right for you.
He moves his entire fortune, $400,000 into Quadriga. The deposit appears instantly, no issues. He sells it right away. Now his account balance reads 500,000 Canadian dollars. A fresh start, all that's left is to withdraw. He clicked it. At the same time, crypto was still crashing.
Bitcoin was down worse than it was right now.
Each dip becomes the dip of the dip, and there seems to be no final dip. Quadriga users flooded support lines. They tried to withdraw their money, but nothing came through. Each message from the company sounded the same. We're working on it. Your funds will arrive soon. He waits. 1 week, then 2. Weeks turn into months. Nothing moves, but he's still convinced. Maybe, just maybe, Quadriga is busy with too many other customers. He keeps waiting. And while he waits here, let's go back to India and check on the sick man's condition. The man is gone, declared dead at just 30. For most people, this would be the end of the story, a tragedy, a sudden death far from home. But what no one in the hospital knew is that this man wasn't just another young man taken too soon. He was the only person with the keys to a hidden fortune, passwords locked inside his head, and with him gone, so too was the fortune. His wife is left alone with folded papers, hospital notes, and a death certificate. His body is prepared for release, placed into a coffin, flown back to Canada. There is no autopsy, no second opinion. For forensic experts, that was strange. A sudden death at 30, multiple cardiac arrests, yet no examination of the body. To many, it sounded like the perfect setup, a staged disappearance without a trace. Months pass. Before anyone outside the hospital knows the truth, the company he left behind continues to operate. The website still takes deposits, but withdrawals feel like gambling. January 14th, 2019, the Quadriga website went dark. Hours later, a post appeared on Facebook. A visionary leader, Jerry, died on December 9th, 2018, in India. Sincerely, Jennifer. Across the internet, confusion turns to outrage, but almost immediately, something felt off. People began to ask, could he really have died from Crohn's disease? It's painful, yes, but rarely fatal. Theories surfaced, one louder than the rest. Was Gerald really dead? Or had he found the perfect way to vanish? Then came the death certificate, a photo leaked online, and on it, his last name spelled wrong. Reddit summed it up perfectly. When you order a death certificate on Fiverr and they spell your name wrong. The location only deepened suspicions. Jaipur, India, a city known for its temples, but also a place where fraudulent death certificates were notoriously easy to obtain. If you wanted to disappear, this was the place to do it. And for Jerry, maybe, just maybe, he did exactly that. For thousands like Tony, hope and anger blurred together. The investigation into Quadriga begins. Detectives want to know who really was Gerald Cotton and what exactly was Quadriga hiding. At first glance, everything seems legitimate. A clean website, government registration, public interviews. But when investigators trace the domain name, something strange appears. It's not registered under Jerry's name. It belongs to Michael Patron. Mike isn't just some early partner, he's the co-founder. He talks about crypto like he invented them.
I've been working with digital currencies since about 2003. Everything okay?
But when investigators look deeper, they uncover a hidden truth. Michael Patron isn't real. His real name is Omar Danani, a convicted fraudster. Years earlier, he was part of an underground network called Shadow Crew, a marketplace for stolen identities and hacked credit cards. He is the guy who makes dirty money disappear. When the FBI shut it down, Danani was charged with money laundering and identity theft. He served 18 months in US prison. But before Shadow Crew, Danani was involved in plenty of shady deals. Let's rewind to the early 2000s, long before Quadriga. Back then, the internet was a different place. Anonymous forums were everywhere. One of them was Talk Gold. This was Digital Bazaar, where Ponzi schemes were pitched like business ideas. Among the usernames, Patron and Scepter. Scepter ran a fake high-yield investment. He called it S&S Investments. It promised easy profits, paid small returns at first to look real, then vanished overnight. The username Scepter. It belonged to Jerry. Patron was Danani. The two met here. Talk Gold. Jerry had been running scams since he was 15. After his prison stint in the US for Shadow Crew crimes, Danani was deported to Canada. Soon after, he set up Midas Gold, a money exchange linked to Liberty Reserve, another black market used by criminals to launder money. Jerry's name surfaces there too. When Liberty Reserve was shut down by the US, their money network vanished overnight, so they pivoted. By 2013, both boys re-emerged again, this time in Vancouver, with Bitcoin. No more fake investments, no more shady exchanges. Now it is freedom, decentralization. Danani changed his name 3 times. Omar Danani, then Omar Patron, finally Michael Patron. Different names, same man. And now, he's the co-founder of Canada's largest crypto exchange. Danani handled the business setup. Jerry handled the money. Together, they built their next big scam. So far, their biggest, Quadriga. When analysts dug into Quadriga's so-called cold wallets, the truth hit like a shockwave. They were empty. There were no coins, no reserves. The funds were never locked away on Gerald's laptop. This is how it went. A new user signs up, buys Bitcoin through Quadriga. Jerry manually credited accounts with fake crypto. He used the actual fund to trade elsewhere, gambling on other exchanges. He lost over $150 million of customer funds, chasing profits that never came. And when users asked for withdrawals, he paid them using other people's money. A textbook Ponzi scheme, robbing Peter to pay Paul. It worked until 2018, when the market crashed 70%. Everyone wanted out. Bitcoin fell from record highs to disaster lows. Withdrawals flooded in, but there was no money left to send. Quadriga's empire, the illusion built from lies and fake numbers, began to collapse in real time. By the end of 2018, Jerry was cornered. Quadriga was empty. Millions gone. No way out. Maybe that's when he made the decision. Vanish before the truth caught up. Only one person claims to have seen him in those final moments, his wife, Jennifer Robertson.
I saw Jerry die. I was holding his hand when he passed away. It was a terrible, terrible moment.
And yet, no one in Gerald's circle had ever heard of her before. They supposedly met on Tinder in 2014. She stayed in the shadows until 2018. October, they got married. November, they took out insurance. November 27th, Jerry signed a will. Everything went to Jenny: property, money, trusts, even his plane and yacht. December, Jerry was dead, and now everything belonged to Jenny.
I hadn't understood.
At first, Jenny said she had no idea how Quadriga worked.
So there was many things about Quadriga that I didn't understand.
But investigators discovered she'd been signing documents, moving assets, and helping manage parts of the business. She wasn't just Jerry's wife, she was part of the operation. And then came the details that made everything worse. Jennifer had changed her last name 3 times in a few years. Jennifer Griffith, then Jennifer Forgeron, then Jennifer Robertson. Her ex-husband, Michael Forgeron, was murdered under mysterious circumstances, never solved. Now her second husband, Jerry, dies just as a $250 million crypto empire collapses. Days after his funeral, she throws a party. She was even dancing at Jerry's funeral. The pattern was too strange to ignore. Too many coincidences, too many lies. If Jerry really died in India, then he left behind one of the most suspicious widow in crypto history. But if he didn't, then maybe, just maybe, Jenny wasn't a widow at all. She was his accomplice. 2019. Lawyers demanded Jerry's body be exhumed to prove once and for all if he's really buried there.
Exhuming the body.
That's an important topic.
But the grave remains untouched, the mystery unsolved. It's been years since Quadriga collapsed, but the pain still lingers. More than 100,000 people lost everything. Nearly $250 million, all gone. And still, no justice, no recovery. For Tony, the screen where he once watched numbers rise now sits red. Then, he takes a breath.
So I think what I need to learn from this lesson, first of all, is, first of all, I never learned my lesson after I lost the $150,000 last year. And I should have learned from that lesson. I should have learned not to be impatient.